Hi, guys.
Hello, everybody.
I don't know if you can hear Aurora, but she's out here. I am sending you guys to my YouTube, Karma on Deck. So, welcome to the Nine Vibe. And you guys I'm coming to you from my living room today so you can have a different perspective. And Rory, where are you at anyway?
I am trying to mute my computer, girlfriend. Hold on. Let me just get out of that and I'll get to there after. I'm here. Hold on. Let me put us on the stream correctly so that I
Okay, I can see the chat.
make sure.
All right. So, anyways, welcome to the Nine Vibe. I've got Aurora right here. She is clicking in, and we did a photo shoot today at my house. So, we did some really fun shit with my crystal ball preview. And then that was,
Yes.
we did some,
Ooh, that's
yeah.
in one of the slides. I have one. My friend Dave got me one as well. It looks really similar. And I have one in one of our preview slides. If people go find us on YouTube and Twitch, they'll be able to watch those. And we'll put yours up too, like side by side. I can Photoshop those in cool. I love yours. Yours is the right size. That's
Yeah,
not
it
messing
is.
around.
It's heavy as a kid's bowling ball. I never knew they were that heavy, but it was really fun doing the photo shoot because we had an opportunity to use my High Priestess card from um, the Steampunk Tarot deck that is on my that's on my business card, and I have an actual pose of me doing this same face she makes. So it was super fun to play with that too. Hi, Nikita. She said, I'm here.
Hi,
Also, I'm Karma's
Nikita.
hairstylist. Yeah.
Ooh, hey, I'm a hairstylist as well. You do a very good job. That was one of the first compliments I gave Karma was on her hair.
True story. So Nikita Valencia in St. George, I've recruited every single family member now. Vanessa,
Oh, we
Soraya.
like that. We like loyalty. That's what's up. You get the hairdressers loyal, you're good forever, and they maintain your hair. So we're on the magical subjects. That's a good person to be in their good graces.
I love her. Anyway, she was here today all afternoon. It was supposed to be for a reading. We hung out for like 3 hours.
I
So
love it.
cheers to you, my darling. East Coast.
Cheers. I have
What
wine
is
this
it?
time.
The Wicked Witch of the East and the Wicked Witch of the West? Or the Good Witch of the East and the Good Witch of the West? But we're
Don't
witches.
we all have a little of both?
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole. That's
All
what
right.
we're
So
changing for people is the good witch, bad witch,
so
whatever.
here's the vibe we discussed. Um So which is east and west? How about that? So the vibe we discussed tonight was that we were neither one in a hurry. It's been really busy. And I don't know, were you hectic today?
I had so much going on, but I feel like for one of the only times in my life, because I'm all air in my chart, I handled it pretty smoothly. My energy didn't, like, I was pretty tired today, but I wasn't overwhelmed. I get wicked time anxiety, and I didn't have that issue at all today. I was just like, just floating with it. I did some journeying last night, and I think it probably helped because my timescape is weird, so I feel overwhelmed, but my vibration was okay today, which I was actually really surprised that those actually lined up that way.
I did feel like I was like in a time loop today, just
Yeah, it was a weird one,
kind
dude.
of flowed a little bit. However, I will say, and I wanted to bring this up because it's come up in a couple readings that I've done. I was on the service last night, really, really late. And I remember texting my bestie and I was like, yo, am I on the Twilight Zone? And she's like, why? And I said, every single female that has called me tonight has sounded like the exact same story until I finally looked up like, yo, am I being punked? And there,
I kind of feel similar, and it's weird that you say that because the women that are asking me, they're like, "Do you feel like that too?" And I'm like, "You would have no idea how many people just said that to me. You're not alone. We're not alone."
well, and the energy that I've been, it gives people a little comfort when you can tell them like, look, yo, it's not just you. And I think with that upside down energy that was going on Monday, solar eclipse, I don't know, I'll let you
Oh,
talk about the conjunct part, but there was solar eclipse, meteor showers, there was
oh
a
yeah,
new moon,
oh
and then
yeah.
some conjunct, I don't know, Monday.
Um, there was a whole bunch of crap going on. I actually had a whole little list going on next to me. Essentially, what's happening is Saturn just moved into Aquarius. That's what everybody should focus on right now. Saturn is typically ruled by Capricorn, and it is karma. Haha. Both good
Karma!
and bad.
Saturn
It
ruled by
is how
Capricorn is
you
karma.
get stuff. So,
Welcome. Karma on deck. That's what we're going to call the whole next millennium.
but do you
Karma.
get typically when people hear your name, they hear the wrong thing? So when people hear the word karma, they only think of like if somebody does something bad, then something bad is going to happen to them,
Punishment.
right? Huh?
Consequence and punishment. That's the only thing that people think
Yes.
about when they hear
Yes, they
karma.
don't think of the hard work that comes in and the benefits that you reap from that, which is a huge aspect of Saturn and karma and that cycle of energy, right? So right now it's in Aquarius, and Aquarius by sign is super humanitarian, very quirky, weird. It's a lot more logical. It's an air sign, but it's a water bearer, so it's an alchemist. In tarot, it would be the star. So it's dreaming. It's how people are becoming innovative. It has huge things to do with technology, and with the energies that are coming up, the Great Awakening or whatever phrasing people are putting on it. Those conjunctions, the North Star of Bethlehem stuff that when baby Jesus was born, all the same lineups are happening right now, and it's making for a massive shift of opening. So people are getting the headaches with the pineal gland and the crown and everything going on right now, and they're worried that this awakening is going to be bad. What it's going to be is, I think, maybe a little overwhelming. I think people are going
Hey,
to be
like go
tired.
back. Did you guys hear what she just said? So how many of you guys are super close to me that knew like Madison, and she knew that I took it down, like, was it 2 days ago? Remember, I was in bed for 24 hours with a migraine. Like, it was
Yeah.
after the live on Wednesday night. I said, I've got a headache, and I dipped because I can't. Yeah, she said, get comfy, girl. Because I can't like go for dive into anything with lights or anything with the migraine, because then I'll be down for extra days. And you just said, what conjunct is the migraine?
What conjunct is the migraine? The conjunction is the open energy. So what it's doing is where it's decalcifying the pineal gland and it's opening everybody's crown chakra. The energy vibration is different. So the ear ringing and the headaches and the pressure, all of that's going to be related. It's kind of
Well,
symbiotic.
opening, how much more open can I get? I already see too much where I'm like,
Girl,
neurotic.
I mean, I think right now you and I are more taking on other people's
Yeah, that's
awakenings.
what's pretty heavy is I think I'm seeing clearer collective energy when
Yeah,
stuff's
and
going
it's
on.
rough right now, man. It's depressing a little bit because people are afraid of the shift. So instead of that, guys, get excited. Do what my therapist always says, change fear into excitement. You are
Change fear into.
excited for the
Let me
changes. You are
just give
not
a little
afraid of them.
caveat to the people over here on Facebook. I did start out on here, and I'm not really sure there's good sound for you to hear her, but you can hear my side of the story, and it's always a great side of the story. Eric said the first thing I hear is punishment. What did I come into, buddy? So karma.
Hey, Saturday night chat. What's good?
So this is the 9 vibe, y'all. So this is what karma, the definition of karma is literally work. It means work.
Yes.
And when you fulfill the work, it becomes dharma, right?
Yes.
And
And then
so
it's what?
karma means work. And so when you guys see me cheer, I mean, my name, Karma Steel, thing that's folded over time until it becomes sharper. Karma Steel, right? So it's like, it's not a bad thing. Karma's not a bad thing. It does mean consequence, but it's always consequence you sign up for.
True that.
Ding, ding,
True
ding, ding.
that.
These lessons are your choice. All of them.
Well, and we set it all up. So with astrology, I'm a firm believer, never mind on the shamanism bit and looking into different theologies, but astrology alone. I get all the time when I look at baby astrologers and they're like, I would never set this up for myself. Why would I make my life like this? And
You
it's
do the
like,
most to get the most.
yes.
I signed up to do the most. I want it all. I don't care. I've already had a lifetime of pain, and I don't really think pain has anything to teach me anymore. So I'm ready to.
But it did at one point. And
I'm
that
not
is
saying
my
anymore.
biggest
It
thing to
is,
tell people.
well,
The
pain
bigger the
is
pain, the faster that lesson, the faster you work on a motherfucker, right? You get
all
them.
right. So here's what's true: pain, lies, deceit, misunderstandings, betrayal, all of that taught me the finest lessons and gave me the best tools, because pain inspired me to be a life coach, and I am passionate about it. And I can tell you, I wasn't that passionate about anything else in my life. I loved being a paramedic every single minute. And when I left, people were like, oh, wow, are you glad you're not stressed out? I'm like, no, I lived for that. Like, I lived for being, because it took me a lot. It cost me a lot, because I had a family of 5 kids and my husband was a shit show. And I had just this mess of a life, and it was the one thing I wanted to do. And everybody's like, well, are you more relaxed? Oh, are you glad you don't have any stress free? No, man, I miss every day of it. It was like my whole life I'd been out of water, and they
Yeah,
just
you
threw
could
me in the
breathe.
water. And I'm like, oh, this is supernatural. I like that, supernatural. But yeah, so
Uh-huh.
it taught me a lot. And I would now, looking back, if you guys remember, sorry to rant, but if you guys remember back in the day, for these old folks on here that fucking wrote code when you were in school and did the Oregon Trail goddamn shit on the computer.
I could do that. I can't work Facebook, but I could do that shit. Ayo.
You can do code, but I can burn your computer by walking in the room. So the what was I saying? I must have been a lie.
No, the people that could do code.
Oh yeah. So if you think about when we used to have to put the C prompts in the computer, Eric said one of my favorite medics to work with. People were afraid of me, I heard, like that old, I don't know. Anyways, so when you used to put these computer codes in order to get the disk to work, you had to type in a certain sequence. And it was a ampersand and it was a backstroke and it was all these little details. But if you put one of these little characters in wrong, the computer wouldn't run. And it's hard to put that into play when people have just like plug and play electronics now for them to understand that analogy. But what's true is one period, one sentence, one space, one underscore, one little slice of that code, and you end up with nothing, literally nothing. It's not like the computer might run or some will, it's like none. And so every single one of the lessons I look back on now, because it makes me the beast I am. And I'm not ashamed of saying that. Like, dude, dead ass, I've been through some shit and you guys know me. I would do it again, knowing what I know now. So yeah, we did sign up for this shit, guys. That's a hard pill to swallow.
But, well, okay, so I love to reference all the time when I did my chart, I was like 120 hours in researching myself, and I stopped when it got really offensive, because it called me out on some really horrid shit, and I was like, ew, fuck you.
So astrology does.
It maps.
Astrology absolutely does call you out exactly like tarot does. It'll be like, well, it's this rough, is the path that's going to be going on, you know, but still, it's going to dead ass hurt.
Yeah, it hurt my fucking feelings. I was like, so we're gonna work on someone else's chart for a fucking beat, because I don't think I can deal with this without just quitting doing astrology. And then I went back later, and it helps relearn aspects with other people's stuff to really get the full grasp of it. But it's pretty cool because there's certain aspects that are coming up, like globally, that we just went through a few different aspects that have happened historically. The same ones around actually the same time, around December 7th, was really similar to Pearl Harbor's timeline. And we do have a lot of war going on right now. It's just not a big deal.
You can see both of us. It's on a Zoom call, but I'm bringing you on so you can be reminded to come play with us on YouTube. And we're also
on YouTube. So that happened, and then there was one right before that, before the elections were getting really big, and there was a lot of protests and stuff. That was when Rome fell. And coming into the age of Aquarius, where we are right now, we're on the heels of this energy, and it's only going to get greater. So the nervousness that everybody's feeling right now, like what's going to happen, and everybody is like bursting open Google and finding like the monoliths and the aliens are coming, and they're looking at religious tech. And I get it because I've done similar. But what I would say astrologically, you guys really need to take out of this, take that day to meditate. Take that day for whatever you want to do to be great. Do it that day. Monday is a huge day to move your ass, to be an Aquarius and shake some shit up. Aquarius is not afraid to offend people. They are not afraid to do what they need to do.
And I'm an Aquarius.
Go offend people. Me too. Emotionally, I offend a lot of motherfuckers. I don't mean to. I think I'm being helpful. Like, but apparently that shit is sensitive.
Well, let me just point something out. And I'm not saying, I'm just saying, okay? She just pointed out two very important dates that said, when did you say the when Rome fell conjunct?
It was right before a lot of the protests had started.
Okay, so if you guys remember the energy of the protests and how that, come join me on YouTube and you can hear Rory better.
I'm finished. No fascism shit.
No, but here's something I wanted to point out about that. That's very, very vital and important. When Rome fell, it went in burning flames, right? And when Pearl Harbor went, it went in burning flames, right? So what you have is these two similar conjuncts that rarely happen. They already happened, and the energy did not cost us in blood. I just want to point that out, that the energy is moving differently around us. And so, yes, the conjuncts are the same, but it's the activist motion and how
Aspects.
you want to manipulate that energy that causes it to shift. We decided that it doesn't serve us to cause one another to bleed. It doesn't serve us to bring down the buildings. We have to figure out another way, because obviously we'd be following that path by now. We'd be in those kinds of phases. We'd be burning still.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was just talking to somebody about similar energy, honestly, to the witch hunts. Is cyclical right now. So you guys lock up your energy. Be careful what you are talking about with people. Keep your team that you trust around right now. Because as
What
much
up?
expansion, yes, as much expansion is here, everybody's expanding, your enemies too. You need to see the shit that's around you, because all of the energies are getting bigger. The good and the bad karma are starting to fill everyone's space, and it needs somewhere to go. And that's kind of what's going to start happening, is the energy is going to start shifting and moving, and it is going to set off a chain of events to a degree. So there's global meditations going on the 21st. I've seen from 1,000,000,001 groups. If you guys are going to participate in something that huge, I highly recommend you learn how to ground and protect your space, your energy in your home before you do. It's a really big, massive energy to kind of lean into if you're brand new at that stuff. Meditate at home, maybe on your own stuff and your personal goals, but if you're going to do global, do it with somebody that has been doing it a while, or have your little hematite with you or something.
You know what? Everybody's been asking me what I'm doing for that day, as if it's like, I don't know if you saw, fuck, what was that movie with Will Smith and the sky was falling and the aliens came in? Independence Day.
Oh my god, I was just thinking about that the
Remember
other
them
day.
fucking idiots uh on top of the building, and they're just like going, yay, and everybody's like, what are you doing on the 21st? I'm like, what the fuck is the 21st? I'm like, yo, I'm staying home. Like, I've been asked
Wow.
that multiple times, and I get
Yeah.
that people are like celebrating, but I'm kind of like, yo, I think for
I like
me,
to lay in the cut.
yeah, like I'm gonna be in the cut, guys. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, unless there's some very special stuff that I'm talking about, intimacy stuff. But ultimately, I'm not going anywhere, and that's because, like, with the kinds of shadow work that's been coming up with a solar eclipse on Sunday and a new moon, I don't want to be around other people and see whatever weirdness comes up. And I
Yeah.
likely feel that if it were, and let's say I'm wrong, and it goes wild, I really don't want to be away from home. I want to be around my family, and
Mm-hmm.
and besides, I'm going to be home because this is shadow work and it's beautiful, and I just want to be in
It's a
my
good
own.
opportunity for it. We need to capitalize on those opportunities a lot more. A lot of people would rather go out and ignore and lean into some mystical fabrication of what they think this day could be, versus taking what we do know is true, like that statement of what I know is true. I love when you use that, or this is true, because there's certain things that just are a fucking fact, right? Like, there's just, this is a good space for everybody to introvertedly go inward, find their deepest, darkest desires, accept them, and find out how to facilitate them and make them tangible. This is, if you don't capitalize on this energy, you are absolutely wasting it. You just are.
Agreed. Like, it's one of those times. And here's the thing that I've been coming up with, like, about on coaching on some of the blogs. I've started publishing some of those on my website so you guys can enjoy how my brain works. But one of the things that had come up was, just like you said, like, what are you doing with this energy? Like, you don't get to make a New Year's resolution more than like once a year, right? And
Yeah.
so, or birthdays. And it's just a really good opportunity to I don't know, I always celebrate these solstices anyways and do things for myself, and winter
I do
solstice is a
too. I clean.
particularly beautiful time to sow your
Full time.
seeds for what you're bringing, you know what I mean?
And to accept the deaths of the things that have just come. To lay things to rest and accept that some things have an ending, you guys. That is a huge thing for Yuletide, because you can't get the new stuff without letting go of the old stuff. We don't have space for everything. That's when you go insane. You can hold space for things in like in an extra space that you create for yourself, but on an everyday, on your grind shit, you have to let go of what is not serving you right now, and to be able to attain the stuff that you were going to look forward to, because without doing that, you're just going to flounder. It's going to suck.
Karma on deck, bitch. How do you not know my YouTube is Karma on deck?
Ooh, she got her.
Look, all my
Oh, it's
social
hot
media
in
and
here.
my Cash App and my PayPal and my Venmo is all Karma on deck. You
See,
may.
if I was smart, mine would be. My PayPal is at Ginger Gypsy Heart. My Venmo is at Rory Dash McDonald Dash
How
3, so
is
that
Gypsy
sucks.
Ginger Heart
I'm
not
an
the cutest
idiot,
thing
dude.
you've
My
ever
Cash App is at the $ Nifty Nines, but I mean, whatever. If you guys are on my other channels, if you do follow, like, subscribe, do donations. I did have somebody in Twitch asking if we were doing readings, and I said after we chat we might.
Yeah, we'll see how the energy is. It's been super lazy slow.
Not only that, but I
I would
also
like
have been very hesitant to open myself up to certain energies, honestly. Because I had a couple of people needing some stuff, and I was like, I'm going to go ahead and be busy. Like, I think that I'm going to work on charting and things that are, like, intellectual versus emotional, because people are really going through the fucking shit right now. They're in it. They're in the trenches, and I'm like, while I want to help, none of y'all know how to hold on to your shit right now, so we're going to try to help a little with that. What good things do you think you could suggest for, like, just a quick grounding for people besides
So,
smudging?
hey, and here's the thing, without smudging, I did want to mention this to you guys the other day because we were talking about, I wrote an article the other day called, which one was that, where I had said, just begin, because there's
Yes.
so much, and I'm going to go off on this, sorry. But here's the thing, and I want to make sure everybody hears this and hears it well. Awakening happens where you're at. I am so tired of people going off about like, well, you eat like shit, or well, you live in a city, heaven forbid, all the 5G and the
Yeah, can
fucking
I eat
COVID.
meat or use a cell phone? Like, bitch, yes, just do
So
something.
I mean, I could scare you all night long. It's cell phones, it's sex, it's
It's
who.
everything. It all sucks, and it's all good
Right.
for you too.
If you
Figure
don't
it
have a
out.
physical practice and you're not doing yoga with the warriors pose for 99 hours straight while naked in the jungle for 40 days and 40 nights, you know what I mean? It's like all of these things that they're telling you that it is required for you to become or attain a certain spiritual level.
Yeah.
I am not in any stretch of the imagination going to tell you that it does not have value and it does not enhance the experience. But I
Same.
will tell you that if you're reading, your mind will expand. If you're meditating, your
Yes.
third eye will expand. If you're eating clean, the cleaner the
Yes.
body, the cleaner the message. Like you are going to expand. So I don't want you to look at this stuff and go, I don't have sage or access to sage, and fuck if I have any money. Like all of this stuff is 20 years worth of.
Sound. Bells. Do you have bells on the stockings from
There we
Christmas?
go.
Shake
So
that shit around the house.
yes, so start where you're at. She just said bells, and you got Christmas up. Please tell me somebody's got bells from,
Yeah.
jingle bells,
All of you do. Mistletoe, that's druidic protection. Pine,
so
the fucking tree in your living room. Guess
oh,
what? You have a whole altar. Like,
I used to, okay, so if any of you guys are out there are paramedics and remember me carrying pockets of salt from McDonald's, they were these little
yes!
tubes of packets of McDonald's salt. And my partner was like, why the fuck are you always carrying that in your pocket? And I'm like, don't worry about what I'm doing. You get a psych patient, right? Or you get like a domestic abuse and the husband's just running his mouth or the wife is running her mouth and the guy's
Ooh,
just like
yeah.
standing there bleeding.
And you're like, okay, I can't fight. I'm at work. I need to just breathe and clear my shit. Yeah.
Right. So salt. So another thing is, here's a really, really simple one. Are you ready for this? You guys? Go outside. Like
Yep.
it's freezing cold and there's a winter storm, right?
Who
And
cares?
it's like I had a certain someone going through it the other day and I was like, go outside. And
I am not my body.
yes, and I could feel them crying and it was freezing cold and the stars were bright and I was like, there you go, now breathe. And it's going to hurt. It's really going to hurt breathing in ice cold air, right? Especially when you
Cleansing.
a warm toasty house. And so what happens is those crispy cold, air hits your vessels and boom, you're like awake a little bit and you're settled in your body. It's not about sage and salt and ritual. However, there is an abundance of value in creating ritual space for you because muscle memory within your body causes you to go into that state. That's why meditation by practice is so important, not once in a while. But here's the thing, begin where you are. Kitchen salt, running water. Water cleans your body. It's symbolic for cleansing. What else? What else you got? Selenite. You just said selenite.
The sound bowls. I actually almost grabbed mine to go.
I got mine. So what you don't got, I got, Bo.
Yeah, I'm like, it's close, yeah.
I suck at these. Anybody got any advice on how to keep them without making that little
There is like no good way to do that unless they cost like $600. Hold on, I'm gonna take my headphones out and grab mine and see. You're
Oh,
gonna
look.
feel better. You do for a sec.
All right, so she's recommending I do this, but when I do it, if I don't pay attention, watch, I'll show you. I'll skip a little bit. So it takes a little concentration and
I
attention.
wonder
What's
if we
the
have the
word?
same
Focus.
one.
So singing bowls, I had this on the table because we were doing a photo shoot and she wanted to see some of the things I worked with. This is all throat chakra for those of you that don't know how to say the shit you got to say to your boss. Sing. If you don't have a singing bowl, sing. So all right, so here's
Yes, singing and dancing.
if you guys have seen me post those videos, I'm going to post them after this just to show you what physiology can do for your mindset. Okay, I have videos of me dancing in my kitchen in my pajamas, no makeup on, my hair all sideways, nobody's home, I'm sober, and I'm dancing and I'm singing and I'm sending my boo thing like, look what I'm doing. And he's like, wonderful. That's all he's got to say. But here's the thing, I'm in this house by myself with a cat, a bird, and a dog, and people talk to me all day long, but I got to get out of my head sometimes, and I'll put on some rap, or I'll put on some Marabou State or some shit I can sing to. And singing clears your throat chakra, because that is for the voice you can't come to with someone. Oftentimes we can't, it's not possible, it'll be hurtful.
Writing too,
Yes,
even though it's not using your
great.
actual voice, it's using your inner voice. So writing things down is an incredible way to clear or practice using your throat chakra.
Karma on deck, come see her. So I'm going to write these down, and we're going to write them in a list in the post. It's somebody write them in the chat box.
Well, and I do actually have, this is going on, it should be, in a scroll right now on my YouTube and my Twitch. So if you host my Twitch, it will show, it has things like black salt, the sound cleansing, different ways for cleansing and smudging. It's actually going on a loop while we talk.
So here's another one. She said, slow the wand down. This one? So another thing too, you ready for a really amazing clearing one? Fire, baby. Fire.
My favorite thing to do is to burn some shit.
Yeah, so you can write down like whatever's bothering you on a piece of paper, and like, it's stuff you have to let go of. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to assist in this situation. My hands are tied, and your energy is tied up in it, of worry or doubt or ego, right? All of those
Oh yeah.
things. You write
Guilt
it on
is
the paper,
usually
you burn
everybody's
it,
problem.
throw it in
Yeah.
your sink. A little
Every day I do that on bay leaves. I should be doing it on paper. It's a little bit better, but I like the feeling of taking my time to delicately use the Sharpie and get it on the bay leaf, because I have to really focus my intention on not snapping the stupid leaf. Makes me really notice what I'm trying to get rid of, and I have to really keep reminding myself while I'm doing it. And it just, that thought process for me makes me feel it better. And that is where this stuff lies, is where you guys are focused, not what you're using, but how it's working for you.
And it's about making things sacred too. And I wanted to talk about this really quick. So I have a lot of knowledge, and I started out literally homesteading. Like, my ex and I moved to Beaver, Utah, and we had a little old 1800 home, and I had a goat and chickens and all that stuff. So I began a lot of that, but then when divorce happened and I was raising the kids in the city, I lost touch with it, and I got in my head a little bit about not having access. But dealing with Rory more often, she has made it extremely common. Like, the other day I was screwing around in my kitchen, and she got in my head, and she has a really heavy hand with seasonings, and I made some craziness with what was in my kitchen, because she said, I'm going to make you an Aurora bath, and I was having this bad day, and she says, open your spice cabinet. And I showed her what was in my spice cabinet, and she said, grab this and this and this. So she ended up doing a bath for me that was kind of custom tailored based on what my needs were at the time. And it was red pepper flakes, and it was orange marmalade, a scoop of orange marmalade.
Orange is incredible for a ton of stuff, and the sweetness in that sweetens your surroundings. When you look at your ingredients, literally think of what they're doing. Things like cayenne, crushed red pepper, paprika, these things speed things up. They add heat. They can add anger. Be aware. They can add root chakra. Be aware. Know what these things are. Look at correlations, but
think about
once you know that, it's
so
cake,
all
man.
of these are things you have in the kitchen. Like, definitely
milk.
if you wanted to bring some sweetness,
Honey. Always honey if you have it, or agave, something like that. I love doing that. Brown sugar scrubs, your own brown sugar. Like,
Brown sugar, like my salt scrubs that I make are salt and coconut oil and a little herbs
yeah.
and rose petals, just depending. But it's not just that my scrubs are damn special. I will tell you why, because I use superfine salt. So it gets a clear abrasion and you're not
Oh,
dumping half of it
yeah.
down the drain in those chunks, right?
Yep.
But it's
And
the
yeah.
intention, it's the mechanism, it's when I
It's your
make them.
handler, like you said last week. You're
Yeah.
the handler. You're powerful. That matters.
So intention matters. So she made this aura bath for me. And I want you guys to think about this. Like if you have let's say you're a roommate somewhere and you don't have a whole lot of space for an altar or sage, or you're irritating people, you can get in the bathroom. And if you can't take an aura bath, and you hang eucalyptus or you rub herbs on your body or you
Sleep
utilize,
satchels. You
please
put a little thing in your pillow, dude.
get
It takes no
creative.
time.
Yeah, it's about intent. So, and I do feel as if there's a lot of gatekeeping. That was something we talked about last week. If you guys were paying attention last week, we were talking about gatekeeping, where people like me would come along and go, no, 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 you shouldn't be reading your own cards, because what's true is, I'm the only one that knows how to do this, and I have this skill or this talent. I was born this way, and it's impossible for you to learn it, which is a lie. You are
That's
going to
mafioso. We don't do mob shit here. We are helping people, not
right.
owning them.
Truly, and what it is though is like I'm terrible at math. You can't just get me to spout off math problems right now off the top of my head. It's work for me. So for those of you that want to begin these practices, it will be work because it's using a different muscle. I can't go play soccer or catch a football. I couldn't do that if I tried for a week.
The thing is, though, 21 days makes any habit, right?
Hey,
So we've been
so
doing this for a long time, is why our intent makes the things we're making feel more energetically powerful if other people are
I
messing
will
with
tell you,
it.
natural talent goes a long way, because I felt stupid crazy for a long time, and I'm super excited about all you other nuts coming up to speed. Now I don't feel I was the fish out of water yet again, and now I'm like, all right, I'm swimming.
Now we're home, baby. It's Age of Aquarius. Our emotions are finally going to be heard. Our thoughts, the way we think, is finally coming up to a point where people are going to understand it, or at least want to accept it a little bit better. I think you're going to notice it in droves. People with aqua placements for a long time have felt super out of place. And I think right now is a general shift. If you look at the LGBTQ community and the witch community and racism and sexism, matriarchy, patriarchy, people looking at like immigrating and emigrating and all these different things, and culture shifts and socioeconomic shifts and money changing and COVID making people have no money, people are reassessing their priorities hard right now. Like, okay, my government said they could do this for me and they may or may not have done it. I am or I am not happy. I have this, and this that I was taught growing up, and now none of that is there. What am I going to do with it? And a lot of people are left in this space of what now?
Yeah.
And that's where everyone feels so lost, but everybody is there, you guys. Everyone is going, what now? It's not just you. So it just takes solace in that part and just pick something. What now is your choice.
Well, here's what I say. And so if you guys watch my YouTube and I talk about the like how to pick a tarot deck, one of the things that I talk about is go where you're inspired. And I say to pick images of which that you already have an affinity for, because if you're a certain demographic, and I don't know, angels are important to you from your religious background, when you do study a new deck that has angels on it, they're going to be familiar to you. Oh, that's Gabriel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I liked doing ones that were very unfamiliar. Like, I don't know angels, and I loved learning angel decks because it got me tapped into realms that I probably wouldn't have looked into, but they could resonate for me with other decks that I did know. So I like both sides of that. I think that that really matters. The ones I read the best are what you said. They're the ones that I already am. I have an affinity for the animal on them, or the type of artwork like just resonates with me, and it's way easier to read those. But like, I bought my own, I've been gifted them. Some I've been gifted I can't actually read. Some I bought my own, or my favorite decks. So it's really relative. It changes for everybody.
I will say that my favorite ones are the ones I was inspired by and that come to me the most. I actually, the Egyptian tarot, I should probably get another Egyptian tarot deck. Now that I know, after reading Law of One, and then
Oh
after all
yeah,
my
yeah.
visions and ayahuasca. But I go back, my roots, my starseed roots, I'll go back to like Egypt somewhere stuff. But anyways, it was very hard for me to understand the reasons why I was so attuned to the deck, and because culturally it's not my background, and I had tried the druid stuff, and I do runes now, but they don't come to me as easily, and that's what I mean by
Same.
go with where your affinity is. Yes, you can learn it, but don't look for zebras when horses will do. Like, use what you're good at and get proficient, and then play with the other shit,
Yeah.
and like
No,
get
I
some tools under
agree.
your belt.
That's really good advice because I did the same thing. I actually had somebody hand make me runes. It was a guest that I used to do their hair, and he found me a willow tree and everything. He asked what tree was sacred for me, and I'm like, I think willow is supposed to go with my birthday or my name, I don't know. And he went and he made a little leather pouch for them, and they're so beautiful. They're some of my favorite tools. But for the love of God, it is so hard for me to read runes, dude. I have 600 books and my brain is a computer. And I'm not saying that to be cocky. I'm like mildly spectrumy where I just like have almost an eidetic memory and runes escape me. And I'm supposed to be all like potatoey and Irish and Scottish and that shit like just nope. No, it's
So
no
if,
good for me.
to me, it's like Greek symbols. I'm constantly getting them upside down, and I relate them differently.
I
I
do
had a hard time
too.
with runes.
But you know what? Have you seen that weird light code stuff? The weird like shit that I was writing and I didn't understand. I was looking at Sumerian tablets,
That's
and
me.
there's old stuff when I had to look up the Fertile Crescent and Mesopotamia, or Mesopotamia, Mesopotamia.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
from my past life era. I think it was 900
yeah,
BC.
me too. And that's when I was writing all these weird characters. And I'm like, it's almost a rune. It's not a hieroglyphic. It's not this. Because I loved Egypt in school. So I'm like really certain. Because I'm not drawing a feather. I'm drawing like a swoosh and a weird little like F that's broken. And all these little things. It's bizarre where you get this stuff from, you guys. Where it doesn't matter if you think you match the timeline you see it anyway.
Right, right.
The
And don't try to
information
like,
is what you need.
personally, for me, I literally hunted Google for the images for the
Yeah.
eras of which I
Oh
was seeing,
yeah,
because
so did I. Like a psycho.
yeah, I would go like that. And it's funny to me because so Rory and I were introduced, and I think I introduced her last week, but now that we're a little more comfortable and not so tech bogged this time around, we got a little bit of a system, this being our third, which Wednesday, by the way, will be pre-recorded for you guys. It's just way too much commitment. It's like 3 or 4 hours per project. But
I have a little
what
house too. I have to set this up every time. It's a
yeah,
disaster. You guys would laugh. I should just record that and we can get paid for the comedy because it's a mess.
yeah, I have everything in my office, but I drug everything out here because we had this little setup and gave you an opportunity to see the rest of me. But I personally saw some things that drove me crazy until I went in the back and looked for them. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I had to backtrack a little bit and see where I was. So Rory and I were introduced, and we were told that she's your twin. You got to meet her. And literally, her saying that she's like got that wide spectrum. I'm almost like photographic memory. I can show you on the right hand corner, like 2/3 of the way through the book, and the second
Yeah.
paragraph, like where I can find it. I may not
But do you
remember
do
what
it
it exactly said.
instinctively? Because I feel like I also lose information just as fast. Like I could have read something yesterday and for the life of me sometimes I can't grab it. But I'll remember something perfectly from 5 years ago and what
I
page it
can
was on.
channel energy better than I can remember energy.
Me
Like,
too, man. What is that? I hate that shit.
I can channel something, but I am so forgetful. It's actually
I think
embarrassing.
it's, yeah, no, same. And that's, I think, my biggest struggle is understanding why I'm so good at one and mildly helpless in the other. Like, I don't feel helpless in much in life, but sometimes I feel like my regular day to day human memory, it just escapes me. It does. I have to bring myself going, okay, did you do water? Did you do food? Have you peed today? Like, and if I don't, I will probably have a stroke. So it's hard.
Yeah, I get that. All my boyfriend used to say to me all the time. He used to say, "Did you eat?" Or if I would be doing a couple lives and in a row, and I'd be having. I love it. So
I
it
do
would be.
too. You get looped in there. And that's no good because then we don't breathe. And if we don't breathe, then we're stuck in the ether. And if we're stuck in the ether, we're not bathing, paying our bills, making sure, the driveway's shoveled. Like none of the regular stuff is happening. And I think people forget that when they have all the questions and need us 24/7 on retainer, but can't afford us on retainer, but we love them, so we do it anyway. It's like when I'm doing all the channeling constantly for everybody, I'm not doing any of the human for me. So you guys have to practice your channeling with us so that we can catch a break and be mom and be us and sit at home and do not shit. That would be nice.
Well, yeah, it would. But that's why I tell my two besties that it takes two of them, introverts, very grounded individuals, to keep me like halfway sane. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm not saying I don't enjoy it, but
I love it, but it will make me crazy. Like the people around me will notice after a hot minute, like you've been channeling for 4 days, you need to fucking sleep, or you need to do this, or
but I
whatever.
love it. I wouldn't trade
Me
it for
too.
anything.
I'm like, but I made a new website, or did you see all my new friends on this, or I did 17 tarot readings and all of them were right, and I'll be so happy. But I didn't sleep for 3 days. So I think that's with the age of Aquarius coming in and the technology piece. I think there's going to be a more global connection. I think that's why people want to do that mass awakening, like meditation or whatever. And I think that while it is good to connect, because the we are one part that you were touching on is so important for people to start to grasp, and that has been the golden rule and the basis of all religions since day one, to remember that everybody that you're asking from is you. Everybody that you need something from is you. So what would you give yourself if somebody was asking this of you? That alone, I think, is going to start a bigger shift than just meditating, just the questions. How would you feel if you had the capability of doing what you are asking of this person? If this person asked it from you, how would you need to be asked? That alone is going to be an ease on everybody's energy. I don't think anybody notices that their energy when they're upset, because people that are givers, when they finally need something, they don't know how to ask, really.
I do. 20 years of fucking coaching.
I was going to say, you had a lot of
fry.
training. It probably took a lot of work.
It took so much work. It is the worthy work. That's all I can say.
Well,
I mean, if you're not getting it from me, and get it from somebody, or go to one of the programs.
You have to, man.
It's
There's no use in not doing that. What's the point if we're not? What's the point if we're not? If you can spend money on going to the bar, if you can spend money on seeing who likes you on Bumble, if you can spend money on Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon, and this and that, and you have the HBO channel and the Disney channel, and you just dropped $80 on that, why can't you pay $80 for a coaching session that you utilize for the next 2 weeks, or a reading or whatever?
Yes, like, or coaching, like spiritual mentorship even, but like
that's forever, bro. Like, why wouldn't you invest in you?
So think about this. You aren't using an old Nokia phone right now. You are using an updated, 90% of y'all out there, even with Christmas coming, have the most, latest edition phone, right? So you were given a set of programs that was based on an era that happened 20 years before you were born.
Oh yeah.
So your programs that are run in your head, your values, are something that was instilled in you before you had conscious choice, before you had consent. So whoever was around you influenced that. When's the last time you updated your programs? That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to look at it. And I was talking to somebody about psychology and sociology and what we've learned. So we learn things socially from either our parents, our schools, our societies, TV, music, whatever. And then we learn things from experience. Like, okay, society said this would happen when I was in this situation. Yes, it happened. No, it didn't happen. There's two different stems of learning there. There's two different ways on that your brain creates your reality and your situations, and it's by what you've been told and what you've experienced. Who was that? Was it Freud or?
I don't know, but you look like a badass DJ right now. I need you to grab your head like
fake ID, fake ID. That's McLovin. Don't get me like royaltied. Although if they want to come on here, they should podcast. I would hang out.
Right. So Ivy just said, I can explain quantum string theory and I do math on my fingers. Like, that's true. Agreed. Different ability.
I feel you there, friend.
Hold on one second.
I do this to find my left and my right.
We're going to say goodbye to Facebook. Thank you guys for hanging out.
Bye, Facebook.
We're going to continue this conversation and do some readings over there. We might, I don't know yet if we have a giveaway. I thought we worked on something, but we'll see. If you want to join me.
I have a smudge kit that's available. We need to get some people following us on multiple platforms, though, not people that are just watching us on the platforms that we've both already had.
Oh, yeah.
Or there's no point to the giveaway. Right. So we need to kind of see some growth. If you guys can show me some growth, I'm going to by the end of the next couple of podcasts, I'm going to let Karma pick one of her viewers that has shown her a bunch of growth on stuff, and I'll pick one of mine, and we'll send one to each of you guys.
Yeah.
So We'll
they're
spend
gonna
some time
be,
picking.
and it'll be fun. You'll have an idea of what we're going to have in it too for you guys. And so I do want to tell you guys that I am it's so here's the thing about coaching is you start to look at awarenesses with what's going on with how you think. And I'm adamant against gimmicks. I hate gimmicks,
Me
but
too.
people are like, well, do you have any deals? I'm like, no, I am the deal. Like, I am the deal. Trust me. But I give 20 hours a week of YouTube away. I do free readings on lives all the time.
Yeah, I do too.
I did get to thinking about it, and I have a 20% coupon code, and it's been 3 days and I haven't launched it. It's good karma. There, it's live. Okay, so now I have to commit to it. You get 20% off everything. Coaching. If you want a coaching package and you want to go
Oh
there,
shit.
it's 20% off.
New Year's resolutions, everybody.
Yeah, because I can be just as committed, but I'm not gonna do that stuff for free. I'm not gonna do coaching for free. I'm not gonna do anything for free anymore.
Well, that's us
I
coming
will get
into
a
the age of
discount.
Aquarius too. We want to help, but not at our own expense anymore. You're Pisces rising. You'll give until you're naked. You will keep giving. You'll take your skin off and hand it to your neighbor if they're cold. Like,
Well, and I like being naked, so it's all good. But truly, it's more important to me that you have access than making it difficult for you to get there. So if you feel that there's something that you need, when it comes to the coaching program or the mentorship programs that I have, you can absolutely ask me about a payment plan or talk about like what we can work out instead, because I do believe collaboration. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's what we're doing right here. Karma and Kismet in the house.
Yeah, check me out on Nifty Nines, you guys, because I won't be Kismet anywhere else. I just love that word incredibly, and it sounded adorable with her name, and I never stop using it, and I've had to tell 75 people this year what it meant, so it felt right to be in here, but you're never going to find me anywhere that way. So you can find me on karmaondeck.com though, so go over there.
You can book readings through, even searching us out. What we decided to do is make things super simple. So what we did was collaborate. So Aurora here has some of her information on my website. So if you wanted to reach out and get some services from her, you can just book directly on my website. So super easy. And yeah, so that's
and vice versa, you guys. I don't have, what do you have, your LPN? I don't have anything, any kind of accreditation that's going to say that I'm not going to kill you. Mine is more shit talking advice like your girl, or astrology advice like you stupid and the numbers say so I don't get in trouble. But if you need like somebody who actually has like, real credentials and whatnot, that's why we're working with people that have different, some of the same skill sets and some additional skill sets, is because what I can't offer, I don't
but here's the power of collaboration. Here's the power of collaboration. What I don't have, she has, because she's my herbalist. She's got some witchy knowledge that it's not that I don't have it, but what we're talking about here is expertise. So when she's just as brilliant with the coaching techniques and her awarenesses of what's moving, right? But she doesn't have the cert, and I'm the same way.
Maybe for self,
I have a very good working knowledge of the herbs, but I don't have the intuitive insight to make things easier. And what we're trying to do is make this all easy for you, and that's my goal. I want to thank you guys. I'll catch you on the flip side, but please come to YouTube if you want to continue this conversation, because we're still alive over there.
I'm staying on both of mine, so I'm not saying goodbye to anybody over on mine.
I'm talking about the Facebook.
I know. I'm just letting them know, like, don't leave. I was wondering if class-based, are you still in here? I know I have 2 viewers. Who I got?
All right. Well, besides, I don't want to reward them for hanging out over there, because I eventually want to phase Facebook out.
Me too, because Zuckerberg's a real giant piece of trash garbage. I hate that.
Well, what I'm talking about was just in general as being my preferred platform. There's a little bit less.
I have way more viewers on there, and I still hate it. I hate it so much.
I have a huge subscriber list, or whatever, followers on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I actually have 2 pages, because my work one from, back in the day. 9.
Can't tell who's on where. I should put our viewer count on, but I didn't want to dick around with the settings. I'll do that next time, because that way when I look at my little laptop, I can see how many people are watching us on my Twitch and on YouTube. Right now, I can't exit the Zoom, or I will jack that up.
Yeah. So what is it? Did you want me to? Well, yeah, let's not mess with anything. So for those of you guys that are live here on YouTube, if there was any questions that you'd had, I didn't really see anything but commentary, which means we were pretty entertaining.
Oh, I didn't see who's on yours, because I didn't get to see. Oh no, at least it wasn't wine, right? Water is easy cleanup. As long as there's not like a computer console under there, that's really
I
important.
guess so. Well, I think we did a stellar job with going over different clearing measures. Of course, I couldn't go a whole evening without one disaster. Did I accidentally close it?
I don't. If you did, we still have it on mine. If
I just scared
no, it
the
says
shit out of myself. I thought I had
live. You're
and
okay.
I was sitting down, like literally saying the words. I couldn't go a whole evening without a disaster. And I look up and my screen is blank. And I was like, I did it. I did it anyway.
We are the same person.
Well, I think we did a good job at giving some information for people
I think
on.
so too. I can't wait for you to see the other videos so that if you like the way that it looks, that we can just, I can try to link most of them up this way.
All righty. So I don't know. I can't see the comments. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're
I
going to
think we
bring
did a
some
good
more of this kind of energy as we
job.
go. Now, are you
On Wednesday, Karma, what do you want to pre-record for these guys? What should we get them prepared to see from us on Wednesday?
well, I would like to put a poll out or two, but I
I'm
mean,
gonna try to do those on Twitch this week if I can, because
okay.
there is ways to create them on there. I can't do it on Facebook because of the things and the stuff.
The things
But
and
there is a way for me to put that up there. But I tend to not like my polls will run in the chat too on there, but I haven't had anybody really do much with it and
yeah, me
utilize them.
too.
So you guys have to use them for us
Well,
to
that's
make
okay.
them.
We can talk. We're talkers. So we'll just pick a subject next week. I think I personally would love to talk about astrology. So we're doing astrology next week. How about that?
Sounds good. I can put even slides together. So what I would say for next week, you guys, we're gonna put premieres up, I'm assuming, if we're gonna pre-record it. So put the notification bells on all of the YouTubes, on all of the Facebooks, on all of the Twitches, on all of the Instas, whatever. And then find the platform that you use the most. Watch them later because when they show up, if we've picked it ahead of time, I'm going to put an actual astrology wheel up for you guys. And if people are showing up to these things or they see them later and they're commenting, I will make beginners packets for people. I have them here. I've been using them when I do extended charts for people. I put like a
Yeah,
blank
don't
wheel
sell
with it
yourself
to
short, girl.
practice.
Because you're like, she has all the expertise. I'm like, bro, I don't do herbs and I don't do the witchy stuff the way you do. And also don't do astrology. I do tarot and the coaching, but I think we're very well equally yoked, sweetheart, just so you know.
Well, I mean, I think that there's going to be different strengths and balances and stuff, and I think we're going to learn from each other. And I think that if astrology was something you wanted to learn, you'd learn it in a heartbeat. I just think that you already have your niche and you have what you like, and you're good at the paramedic part
It's
thing.
a
Was a big,
passion, to be honest with you. It's
yeah.
a passion, you
Well,
know.
that Pisces rising on you, mine's Libra rising, so it's in between balance, fairness, judgment, making things even or pretty. Like, so it's funny because it's how things look, but it's also a really weird even balance. So mine is more perception based. You're helping people like confront some of their stuff through going the inner work when they can emotionally kind of deal with that when you're doing coaching. I am dealing more with the assholes that refuse to see that shit. The people that won't bother coaching because they talk to you and they go, I know. And they don't know. They are not nearly open enough to know. You have the squishy people that are already mildly open. I get the motherfuckers going, why doesn't my life work? And I go, well, because you're a dick here, here, and here, friend. And I can say it in a different way because it's not a
Well,
judgment, it's a number.
but you know, yeah, and that's why I won't even coach anybody until I see action. Like I'll give them a couple tasks before I make
Yep.
a phone call. I'll be like, tell you
Yep.
what, get this and this together and we'll have a
I started
conversation.
giving homework too, dude. It's fucking totally worth
It
it.
shows investment. That's all. And like when they come back to you with a willingness to move, then I know that my time isn't wasted. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that if you're stuck, I won't get you through it, but
Same. No, the only girls that I continuously really like putting my energy into, not just feel the need to help, but that I enjoy helping are the ones that are messaging me when they're on their little hikes after I've sent them homework and they're like, look, Rory, I found an acorn and a rock and I went and looked this up. Or like I do a past life regression and they go, okay, so I looked up this spirit and they listened to what the fuck I said. And they went and they did the work and they were excited to show me and they're excited to look and they're excited to learn. those are the people I want to fuck with. I'm sick of fucking with people that want one answer, because I don't have one answer for you guys. I don't do yes or no. I do all of it. Yes, no,
Yeah,
none of
people
it.
ask me that all the time. When I'm on the service, I have a harder time like, well, I didn't ask you all that. I'm like, well, that's all I got because I get all of it or nothing. But
Yeah, I get what
okay,
I get. You get what you get and you don't get upset. My autistic 11-year-old said that at like 6 years old to another autistic kid that threw a fucking fit and said, you can't say this because I'm autistic. And my autistic son turned around and said, so am I. You get what you get and you don't get upset. You can't be rude to other people and blame it on autism. You cannot blame your shit on other people or answers you get, okay?
well,
You can't. Take it from the child, from the mouth of babes. You have to
let me
do
ask
your
you.
shit.
And what did you say? So I get this question all the time that people ask me. Almost every person that's not like a close referred contact, or if it's like over a service or a lot of the services, the first
Yeah.
thing people say, well, what does he think of me? And I'm like,
What do you think of you, bitch? It's a
well,
mirror.
no, 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 no. But what I mean
I
is
know.
like
I know, but that's what I want to say.
doing
That's
a
why I'm not on those services, girl.
right. So when I do a reading, it's like they don't sit and focus on what they think of you. I can only pick up what's going on with them and what's their
Yeah, me
most.
too.
It would be like looking, inside someone's wallet to see what their ID number is on their
It's
driver's license.
so private,
The
you guys. You
attention,
don't
it's not
understand.
about private, but it's also about like the I can get so much, yet you cannot get that much detail unless it's important and valuable. But if they have some overriding thoughts that's taking up their time, like he's
Yeah.
using it, he's losing his job.
Yeah.
And you call
That's
me
what
and you want
his
to know,
forefront's on.
right? And so when they call me, they go, well, what does he think of me? And I'm
He
like,
thinks
that,
money. He thinks he needs to make money, bitch. He doesn't think of you right now.
all right. All right, what do you
Yep.
want to do? You want to hang out or you want to go do some readings over on your Twitch?
I'm gonna do neither. I am gonna be selfish. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Um,
Feeling too. I
I
want to thank
I've
you.
been on that tip lately. Like the last few days, I unplugged everything in Chase's room. The digital detox thing that you had me do. You guys really need to take this lady up on her stuff, on the smallest things that you think sound inconvenient. It's not inconvenient. It works. I have been unplugging things that we are not using. Never mind, is it good for the environment? So that makes me happy on a different level, which just helps my overall mood, thinking I'm doing something, and my bills. So yay. But the clarity that I'm getting right now, having less technology vibration in my house, less internet, ethernet connection to every single AI being in my house, any kind of just vibration. I'm shutting it all off. And this
Right.
is the first time in forever I can breathe. I suggest all of you try, do the same, ask Karma what to do. Go find her, do the things because it's working. And
Well,
that's
and
why I'm
here's the
able to be
thing.
selfish.
I don't think that people realize how powerful the subconscious mind is.
It's
And
crazy.
when people have anxiety, the first thing I ask is like, do you watch TV when you go to bed? That's that 15-second cycle of attention span that you're keeping your brain tracking to. It can't relax. You've got
Forever.
you've got all these beta, theta, all these radio waves in your house. And so you shutting them all down, including your Wi-Fi, everything,
Yeah,
right?
that was actually, I think that and unplugging my fridge was a strange part of that for me because like I wouldn't think to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that just never gets unplugged. Do you know what I mean? Like unless you're moving it and you're redoing your kitchen and the
You took it to
silence that was in my house
silence. Yes. So experiencing
was
silence.
creepy.
But the second thing is your subconscious mind is constantly being dinged by these kinds of, let's say you leave your refrigerator door open and yours bings, mine goes bong, bong, right?
Hmm.
Same thing with the microwave beeping. I'm not telling you guys to unplug all your appliances, but definitely your Wi-Fi and your electronics, right?
Oh, kitty, kitty.
Because here's what's true. You have a portion of your brain, reticular activating system, the portion, both of my ears just are high pitched ringing. That's
12,
painful
12.
in my teeth. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, the
Manifest.
portion of your brain that's reserved for paying attention to those notifications, those cell phone pings, the messenger pings, the dating app pings, there's your fucking dopamine, right? So you have all of this, and then of course there's even times when it's adrenaline. Oh shit, it's my boss. Or you're waking up in the morning, or
Turn it
music,
off.
binaural beats, music and tones and waves. And so if you just, and I didn't challenge her to turn them off for any length of time, and I love to see how much value she got from it and taking it a little further to
I'm
experience.
telling everybody.
Yeah.
They're like, chill out. I'm like, no, unplug it now. Like, I
Yeah,
won't
it's so
stop.
just a practice. Cosmo just chirped. So the practice of shutting everything off for meditation, or even just for 15 minutes and resetting your routers,
It's
giving everything a
smudging.
breather.
Bitch, it's
Makes-
smudging. People asked what they can do. That shit is free. It's saving you money. It's smudging. It's clearing energy. Ta-da.
Yeah, your brain kind of listens to all those things. So just having a breather. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you, Aurora.
Thank you, Karma. I appreciate you still wanting to do things and stuff and still having content to talk about and the energy to even spend on this when you have other shit going on too. So
I
I
could talk
appreciate
about it all
you.
day, but I am tired. And however, like I was telling you during our last planning meeting, when we were talking, I was like, work has never been so fun.
It's fun and it's nice to work with somebody where I've never had to like, if I have a problem, you said, I like solutions, she says to me today. She goes, girl, I am all about solutions. And I was like, well, bitch, I like you. Because, like, I love me some solutions and I hate having
Yeah,
conflict.
I know.
So,
I'm like, so
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, no, it's nice doing this. So if you guys have anything that you want to learn, it helps us. We put better content out if we know ahead of time. I'm willing to invest some work and I just need tangible questions and answers from you guys, okay? Thank you all for hanging out on my platforms too. Go check Karma out if you're on Twitch, Karma on Deck if you're on YouTube.